Back with Bunky. This will be the last retaliation engineer I show you, okay? You don't need me to show you the Vulture Hunter, okay? You don't. Just watch my Turian and Vulture Sentinel videos and piece it together yourselves and have a mediocre time. I'm going to show you the Turian Saboteur now, okay? Because he's kind of unique. Once again, I'm going to recommend that you just don't bother the sentry turret. It's a crap pet. It is a really crappy pet. It attacks far too infrequently to be useful, and you know, on top of that, it's not that hard hitting either. Okay, it's really kind of weak, but it's infrequency of its attacks that just really make it kind of lame. Because you're not going to be. It's not going to get any aggro taken off you because it's just not going to be hitting the enemy enough for them to give a damn. And then when it finally does hit them, it doesn't hurt them much, so it just kind of fails as a pet, to be honest. I mean, if you really, really want to go with this, because it kind of gives you the potential to get fire. Well, it does. It does give you the potential to get fire explosions, okay? For the 4th rank, you could go with either or, okay? Shock would be decent for some crowd control. You know, just sap them occasionally, although that's not that quick. Shields and damage might be alright, because, you know, at least it'll be out there longer, and, you know, it'll hit a bit harder. For the 5th rank, though, absolutely take the armor-piercing ammo. I have never seen it freeze a damn thing. The cryo ammo, I think it's broken. I've never seen it freeze an enemy ever, but at least you can do some extra armor damage here. And then you can go with either or here, to be honest, with the rockets, because it fails as a pet, so I suppose with rockets it could just be some supporting fire, but I mean, look at that. Upgraded turret with a long-range rocket that deals 525 points of damage. That's crap. That's pretty crap, to be honest. I don't like the rockets. But, you know, it could be supporting fire. I probably always recommend flamethrower, though, but this thing is so unreliable. It just seems to do damage most of the time. I very rarely see it actually set enemies on fire, but, you know, when it does, you got yourself a potential fire explosion there. If you really wanted to go with sentry turret, but I'm going to recommend you just spec out of it. I don't use it. I just don't like it. It's a pretty crappy pet as far as I'm concerned. I think that's going to force you to use a reset power, though, if you're new to the Saboteur, because I'm pretty sure he comes with a point already put into it, which is really annoying. I do apologise for that. I'm going to recommend you have all the other, everything else fully spec'd out, okay? This is Sabotage. This is going to be like the first and only time I show you Sabotage, because this is actually another power I really don't care for, but it's got some synergy here, okay? For the first evolution, get the Backfire. Okay, this is fundamental. In fact, this is pointless without it, okay? Take the Backfire. You don't want the duration. The whole hack thing's just not clever, to be honest. You don't want an enemy fighting on your side for too long. you want the Backfire, okay? This is what actually sets up the tech burst. I'll get more into that into the gameplay. For this guy, I recommend you take recharge speed for the 5th evolution. If you're rocking the Quarian female infiltrator, though, you got Cloak's recharge speed on it, so you can go with the explosive hack and get yourself some extra damage when you're taking out synthetic enemies. For everyone else, take the recharge speed, because it's got quite a long recharge speed, in all fairness. Sabotage without it. And then finally, the tech vulnerability, okay? Increase all tech power damage done to target by 50% for 10 seconds. This is pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. You can certainly do a lot of damage with your tech bursts with this, and if you're rolling with a tech team, they're going to love that, okay? Your tech vulnerability with the tech team is pretty awesome. Like, again, Berserk, it's the whole hack feature of Sabotage really isn't that impressive. I'd rather you just sort of focus on getting, setting up tech bursts and debuffing, okay, with Sabotage. Now, homing grenades, okay, I'm going to kind of recommend you build it like this again. Go with damage, fire damage, and armor damage, so they just hit hard, okay? You don't really need to go with radius for the first evolution, because Sabotage hasn't got a radius on it, to be honest. You'll be able to hit everything you can sabotage with one homing grenade, okay? Now, for the passives, in the gameplay, I'm going to be rocking damage and capacity again, and once again, I'm going to recommend you don't bother with that, okay? Because I just don't recommend it. I'm going to get more into the gameplay. I don't want to spend too long here. Go with the damage and stability, get the extra weapon damage, and the stability is always awesome. That's what makes Turians great, to be honest. But then take some power damage, okay, for your homing grenades, and then take some more weapon damage and stability again. You're going to benefit more with that, trust me. for the fitness is all health and shields, okay? All health and shields. You got some nice health and shields there, okay? Well, you got human health, but you got 1,238 shields, which is good. So yeah, that's how I'm going to recommend you build the Saboteur. The weapon I'm sticking on him is going to be the Hurricane. Got some really nice DPS with this. I got the high velocity barrel on it. It's pretty much essential for SMGs. To be honest, you want that. You lose a lot of damage if you don't have a high velocity barrel on your SMG. And then I'm going to the power magnifier. Okay, that's for my homing grenades again. And now I've got all those. I got the 30% weapon damage bonus. I have now. I don't in the gameplay, but I have now. You're just going to be able to gun enemies down a lot faster, and you kind of need to with this guy because homing grenades are slow and stuff. The equipment, I'm going to be going with disruptor rounds. Okay, I got the SMG with incredible rate of fire. It's really good at priming targets. So I'm just throwing in some extra tech burst there. So that's going to help me out. For the armor bonus, I'm going to go with the power amplifier. My shields are great, and I've got some really nice evasive moves, so I just want to do more damage out there. The gear bonus is going to be the grenade capacity, because I really need my grenades for this guy. I will get into it, but get more into it if you stick around, guys. And then obviously the weapon bonus is going to be an SMG rail lamp then, so I can do some more weapon damage. That's the build, and let's jump into the gameplay. Alright then, here we go. It's me, Dom, J Vader, and Myth again, doing another Unknown Gold. Oh, God bless that Dutch duo. Occasionally for these videos I'll make requests of my friends so that I can kind of get the footage I want to show off. Although they will repeatedly try and just fuck things up, to be honest. But in this case I said, I don't need tech guys with me. I want to be showing off the Saboteur's own bombs here. It's going to be quite an important aspect of this video. So I tell my friends, don't bring anything too techy on, because I don't want to be detonating or priming explosions for people. I want to just do rocking my own ones here. So then those two, Dom and Myth, went ahead and picked biotics, which is actually counter to tech, which is really not what I was aiming for. I was expecting them to go combat or at least vanguard at the very most, but there you go. It's not going to cause too many issues actually, because I'm going to stay nice and close to get my bombs off. And here we are. It's going to be Reapers again. That's what happens when I pick Unknown. I get them all the time, but frankly I'm glad. Okay, Sabotage is just so much better against organics. It really is. It's so much better against organic enemies than it is synthetics. It's that Backfire evolution of Sabotage that primes targets for tech bursts. And the enemy needs to attempt to shoot you after they've been hit with Sabotage to overheat their gun. When you sabotage a synthetic enemy, they get hacked. So they don't try to shoot you. So, that whole tech burst priming thing just goes right out the window. So when they do overheat their guns, okay, when the gun overheats, it shocks the enemy, it hurts them, and that does some nice damage, but it adds an electrical effect, that you can detonate to take them out. Not to mention the tech vulnerability evolution, which is in Sabotage as well. That increases the tech damage bonus by a tidy 50%. It does increase tech damage and tech explosions, okay? And that's what's awesome, okay? That's what's going to get the real damage done here. It will increase the homing grenades damage by 50% too. The homing grenades is attack power, but the Saboteur's homing grenades really are unimpressive. They really are. You want those tech bursts, okay? The damage is fixed with those with combo powers, okay, or combo explosions. They're always hard hitting. And with the 50% increase to them as well, they're going to be hitting harder every time. So, and it also strips those shields. Okay, that's the homing grenades and the Saboteur's biggest problem. Okay, without this combo, he doesn't strip shields at all. And with shields up, his powers don't do a lot of damage. Homing grenades are all about armor, killing armor, and the Terror doesn't kill anything, but the flamethrower thing has got, the sentry turret's got flamethrower, and flame attacks are always armor killing, and then he's got armor piercing or cryo rounds, which is both weakening armor or actually damaging armor. So he is just really an armor killer as opposed to any kind of shield fighter. So yeah, and like I said, his homing grenades just aren't that impressive to begin with. They're really not. He lacks the power bonuses the Demolisher has in her passives and pylon, or what the Drell has in his like tactical cloak. Okay, the Saboteur is just not that powerful. And, you know, because of that, he's not that impressive, to be perfectly honest with you guys. He really isn't. I mean, against Geth and other synthetics, because I know what you're all thinking is going, well, you're using sabotage against organics. No, against these enemies, against the Geth and synthetics, all sabotage will do is hack them. And this simply immobilizes the target or makes them attack their allies. And aside from being hilarious, this just isn't that useful. I mean, I once did sabotage an Atlas right after it meleeed one of my teammates, and then it turned around and sync killed a Cerberus trooper. I shit you not, that was fucking funny. But most of the time, however, they will just sort of melee their teammates. The Geth Prime just seems to attack his own pets when you sabotage him. I mean, those melee attacks may hurt us, but what you need to understand is the enemy have a lot more health than any of the player characters. So the attacks don't do that much damage to the enemy. They won't, when they get meleeed by a prime, you're not going to see many of their bars go down, even if it's like a Geth trooper and stuff like that. And another thing to understand is that these hacked enemies don't take any aggro off you either until they like successfully attack something, because. The enemy, because the enemy don't care that you've hacked their friend unless their friend starts shooting them, and that's when they start turning around and hurting them. So these hacked enemies don't take any aggro off you either, and they don't do a lot of damage. So by sabotaging a synthetic, you get no tech burst primer, just a poor decoy and damage output. And that's not going to get the shields down either for you, is it? So you can actually finally start doing some decent damage. A prime meleeing, like a rocket trooper is not going to get his shields down. Or an Atlas meleeing a Phantom. Okay, its barrier is not going to go down. You're not going to start doing some real damage with this character then. I'll let you know though, because there is some synthetics out there which are actually worth hacking. Okay, the best synthetics to sabotage are always going to be like the Cerberus turrets. Okay, they actually wreck up the place. They have a ton of DPS and they do take out the mooks for you. And the best thing is that the mooks will outnumber them eventually, and they'll get themselves killed because they'll all sort of turn to stop this turret from mowing their own team down. So you're down a Cerberus turret, and that Cerberus turret took down a bunch of enemies for you before that happened. Another good one to sort of sabotage is the Geth bombers, okay, because they just do their carpet bombing runs over their own team and stagger up everybody for you. And the Geth pyro, okay, when they're in a group of enemies, they really turn things around. Okay, they just start flaming everybody, and then they struggle to take him out because of his armor and everything. But honestly, this is an engineer that can't do any real damage to shields, okay? And unlike the Quarium female engineer, his detonating attack is really slow, so you don't get the tech burst off fast enough either to strip shields that way. Because if you've seen that video, you'll notice that I run around with disruptor rounds on her. But I can detonate them with Incinerate, and Incinerate just flies out super quick. So I just get a lot of tech bursts out very quickly. I mean, you look at her powers, guys. She's got Sentry Turret as well, which I don't bother with still. And then she's got Cryo, Blast, and Incinerate. So she's an armor-killing engineer too. But the thing is, you stick Disruptor on her, and she just gets the tech bursts out really quickly too. Whereas this guy, you've got to watch your homing grenade fly at the enemy, and then you might get the shields down. So he's just not that efficient at taking down shielded enemies. What can I tell you guys? I don't like the Saboteur. He's very disappointing. I'll play him if I'm bored of everyone else, or if I'm feeling freaky and fancy something weird. Yeah, the Sabotage and homing grenade combo is just shockingly underwhelming. I honestly thought it was going to be amazing. It's not, though. It just really isn't in practice. It's all about his tech burst, guys. If you can't get them, he sucks. He sucks without the tech burst. Trust me. And, you need to trust me on the whole synthetic stuff as well. This is experience talking, guys. I've tried and tested all of what I'm telling you here. It's like energy drain, okay? That's power that primes tech burst, but it also detonates tech explosions. But it will only detonate tech explosions on any synthetic enemy. But organic enemies still need to have their shields or barriers. Okay, if you try to if you do energy drain on a flaming marauder who's got no shields on, you're not going to get the fire explosion. The marauder still needs to have his shields on and be hit with incinerate previously, and then when you stick with his shields, then you get the fire explosion. What triggers the detonation with energy drain is the player gaining shields from the enemy. So no shields, no bang. So this isn't the only power in the game which has very different effects on synthetic and organic enemies. It's most of the time it's just a damage difference, but there are a few like sabotage and energy drain which have genuinely different traits against those two different styles of enemies. So I'm not bullshitting you guys. This isn't just me tripping or going, oh, I'm just not getting my tech bursts off on the get. No, you won't. You absolutely won't unless you prime them with something else. So with this underwhelming power, I'm going to kind of recommend that you turn to some good weaponry. Fortunately, you're a Turian, though, so you have options. As you can see, I'm rocking the Hurricane. Okay, the Hurricane's got amazing DPS, really great DPS. Just because of his incredible rate of fire and the fact that the bullets are stronger than the vast majority of the other SMGs, so you do just get some nice damage out eventually. And plus, you're a Turian, you've got the stability, so you can actually aim it in and shoot from a distance with it if you needed to. I've also got the power magnifier on it. I can slap on there so I can get the homing grenades to hit a bit harder. All good things. But I do like the Hurricane on him because I want to be up close with him, because I don't want my homing grenades travelling for miles. I want them to be detonating quick, so I want to be in the enemy's face and just planting a homing grenade right there and then. But you can go with something like the Talon as well. You can go with the pissed option because you get the power magnifier again, make your homing grenades a bit stronger. But the Talon itself is strong, and it's got that bonus damage to shields and barriers, so it's going to get the shields down for you. So it's all good things there. That's it. You can allow you to get the damage out that you can do with your powers and stuff. The Acolyte would be a good choice as well, okay, for the same reasons. That thing just rinses, but shields and stuff, you just take down all the shields. But I wouldn't make that your only gun, okay, guys? Because like I said, his powers are slow, so you want better supporting fire, but it will be good for just getting the shields down and letting you rock your powers to their full capacity. But what I will recommend, if you want to just take one gun into the battlefield, because I know the switching weapons and stuff in this game can really mess you up. Actually, it takes so long to do. You just take things like the Wraith, okay, just a strong, hard-hitting gun. Just take the enemy out. To be honest, Wraith, Raider, Crusader, Claymore, all good things. Hard-hitting guns. Piranha would be good as well because you've got the Turian stability again, so you can sort of aim in the Piranha as well and get some distance with it. And the Riga, the Riga would be awesome on this guy because again, that's going to forces you to be up close because the Riga's got a very, very limited range on it. So you're up close, you're getting the most. You're really going to get your homing grenades hitting frequently, and the Riga's got the highest rate of fire in the game, so it just wrecks shields. It just strips shields in an instant, and for the same reason, it's going to be really good at priming as well. So if you have the elemental ammo on, your homing grenades you're going to be up at close. Your homing grenade's going to hit in an instant. You're going to get the explosions and stuff. Do some really nice damage. But in that idea of just get a really good primers, you can go something like the particle rifle. Okay, the particle rifle does good damage too. I hope you see my videos where I've been rocking the particle rifle. It's a great gun. It really is, but it's amazing for priming. Okay, it does apply ammo bonuses really great because of its incredible rate of fire. But just do the damage, guys. Go something like the Harrier and the Lancer. You could even go like a sniper rifle, like the Indra. Okay, it's kind of like an assault rifle, but you've got some range with it in case you kind of struggle with close quarter combat. But you do want it with this guy. You do want close quarter combat. The equipment, obviously, I'm rocking is the elemental ammo. I'm going with Disruptor, so I can get some more tech bursts on there. That's right, you'll definitely want that if you're going against a synthetic enemy. And because I play a lot of unknown, I could get them at any time, so I always like to be prepared to get tech bursts off, because the tech bursts on this guy are really good. But Incendiary would be better, okay, because fire explosions are better, but I've just got a ton of Disruptor and quite a few of Incendiary rounds. But, you can just really focus on your gunplay and just go with something like armour or drill rounds, warp rounds. In fact, Phasic would be really good. If I'll get the shields down, what is it? Phasic's got like a 10 times multiplier to shields and barriers, so that would be great for this guy. So really any fucking thing apart from explosive rounds is for your ammo bonus. But for his armor bonus, I do like to get the power amplifier, okay? Just so I can get the most damage out of my homing grenades without losing better evolutions, to be honest. You can go with power efficiency if you did go with like a heavy gun, because you want to be able to use sabotage a lot, because like I said, it's his tech bursts that do the damage, okay? So you want to be able to spam sabotage. That's quite important, I'd say. So if you've got a really heavy gun like the Claymore or the Crusader on him, power efficiency is going to let you to get the sabotage out. If you're rolling with a tech team, the explosions they're gonna detonate for you are going to be great, and then you can just gun everything yourself. But you do need, but again, you want to be up close. So cyclonic isn't a bad idea. You can go with a cyclonic modulator if you struggle being in the enemy's face like this. And you want to be in their face because you want to be rocking. You want to get the homing grenades hitting, guys. So grenade capacity for your gear bonus. Okay, get the grenades on there. I know some people think like the whole grenade spam thing's a bit scrubby, and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's his power. It just so happens to be a grenade. If no one says anything about spamming throw or spamming incinerate or anything like that, but people kind of get the arsey about grenades. You want those tech bursts, guys. It's not about doing damage with the grenades. It's about getting the tech bursts off, getting the detonation. So you want them. If you don't like grenade spam, you can go with just getting 2 extra at least. Go with like shock trooper upgrade or the warfighter package, even assault loadout. Okay, so you got the thermal clips. But you can just go with engineering kit, omnicapacitors and stuff, and just do more power damage. But like I said, his homing grenades don't hit that hard, and they're not going to actually increase the damage of your tech bursts. You could also go with the operative package, though. Okay, if you did go with the Indra or something like that. A mental focuser is another one. But yeah, and like I said as well, you can just go with a weapon amp and just really have a weapons focus with this guy. Because I mean, that is it, guys. But there you have it. Like the sad truth of the Turian Saboteur is he's just not that good, or at least he's not that special. There was some great synergy to be had here. I mean, homing grenades are powerful against armor. They are. But you want to get close. Like I said, I've said it so many times now. You really want to be close to get the homing grenade to just hit instantly, so you don't have to have that lag time of just waiting for it to fly over. And when you're playing off host, sometimes the homing grenades just flat out disappear. In my experience, when they travel for miles and stuff, or sometimes the enemy just moves out the way and it just collides into a wall. So if you really want to get your grenade out, you want to be close to get the damage out efficiently. And the main problem is the homing grenades are slow, but you've got sabotage on this guy, so getting it close isn't so dangerous. If an enemy tries to attack you, you get yourself a tech burst, okay? And they're going to take more damage as well from being sabotaged first, because you've got the tech vulnerability thing. And if it ever did if it did somehow happen to get dangerous for you up close, you've got the propulsion pack, so you can pull out the dangerous scenarios in an instant. There was some great synergy to be had with this character, and that is happening here. Okay, if it all gets off, you do all right with the Saboteur, but it is only all right. Okay, he just doesn't have enough power behind his very slow attack pattern. The risk just doesn't match the reward, and he could have used a serious buff. He generally could. He's great, sort of frontlining a tech team, but going around doing his own thing, he's just really not that special. I mean, his tech bursts are amazing. Okay, they are super hard, but the problem is you can just do so many more tech bursts so much faster with like any other engineer that you do more damage with like every other engineer. He's just too slow, to be honest. Too weak to be that slow. So. Yeah, you got to remember that. And another thing to remember about sabotage as well, it's like stasis. If you keep hitting the same enemy with it, they get an immunity to it, and eventually they just become completely immune to it. I think it's 3 times. I think you can sabotage an enemy 3 times, and then they're immune to sabotage. And that's gonna fuck you up as well then, because if once they're immune to sabotage, the backfire I don't think works anymore. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Feel free, because that would actually be good news. But if that stops the backfire from working, then you're not going to get the tech burst, and you really aren't going to get any damage done. So He even struggles to whittle down big bosses like that, which is just lame because you don't get that issue with like the other engineers' tech bursts and stuff. So there's just a lot of drawbacks to him, and I thought he was going to be awesome. I really did. I think Sabotage used to be a lot better. In fact, I know Sabotage used to be a lot better, but you feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember that the tech vulnerability at one point used to be like 100%, rather than 50. I'm sure I remember that. But Sabotage has never been so amazing, which is why I just don't get why BioWare nerfed it so many times. I mean, in the year they balanced this game, Sabotage got attacked a lot. I think BioWare convinced that this power is so good, and it's never been that good. Even like in the first like the days this came out, when I think the only one who had it was like the Quarian female engineer. I don't recall people going around and just wrecking up the place because of Sabotage. I think, if I remember correctly, I think the hacked enemies did just were more efficient when you hacked them. I think they start actually using their real firepower. Like if you hacked a prime, he started gunning at the enemies rather than just trying to like elbow them to death and stuff. I think they stopped all that. I don't know. Maybe Sabotage is just incredible on lower difficulties, because I think that's what BioWare did a lot of the balancing through. To be honest, I think they played a lot of silver or bronze and stuff, and that's where they've got the numbers from, because Sabotage has just never been so incredible that it demanded the nerfs that it got. I don't think Sabotage deserved any nerfs. It was never broken power, but it had a few in its days, and it's not that great a power, to be honest. It's great to have it in a tech team, but for like an individual, it's not that great. But I tell you what, though, like if you saw my new build for the human infiltrator, with the whole what you can do with sticky grenades, I tell you what, the Quarian female infiltrator could do some wicked damage. Okay, because stickies detonate tech explosions, but they got that secret property where they can actually set up tech explosions. So you could like cloak sabotage sticky grenade. That would be a huge damage buff to your sticky grenade and a huge damage buff to the following explosion. So yeah, that could be awesome. That could be really, really cool. She's definitely the person to get the best out of Sabotage, and the Saboteur is just really a kind of crappy engineer. I'm sorry guys to tell you that, but comment, rate and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, and I'll bring you something more positive next time.